Hi guys, it's Victoria. So today's video a little different. So my last video I have on here is me reviewing some new skates that I got. This video is talking about how I broke my leg. Nobody actually asked this, which I was kind of surprised by, but I didn't break my leg. I did not break my leg with the Rainbow Riders. I don't think it even really matters, but I did break my leg with the Moonlight skates. I was at the skate park with my friend, just literally like a normal day. I was in the bowl, the big bowl, and I just fell weird. Like, it really is. One of my questions was, what trick were you doing when you broke your leg? That's the thing I think that has been like the most hurtful and like the hardest to like come to terms with in my own mind, is the fact that I wasn't doing anything crazy. I really was just doing normal skating. Like in the bowl, I don't really know any tricks or anything, but I would like just practice like doing a tighter circle, like a more streamlined, I guess, kind of circle. I really was not doing anything crazy. It was just a freak fall. I started to fall backwards, and oh god, I like can literally see it like replay in my mind whenever I think about it, and so I usually avoid thinking about it, but for the sake of the video, of course I have to sort of relive it. But I really can like visualize it in my head. It's so crazy. But I started to fall backwards, like I kind of lost my balance or something, and I started to fall backwards, and I basically, I wish I had my boot with me, but my foot, okay, so I fell backwards and my foot was underneath me, like underneath, like fully underneath me, and I fell, and like, yeah. So it was, of course, like I said, I was in the big bowl, very scary. Like right away I was like, oh no, like literally like, oh no, TikTok audio. It was so weird too, because honestly, my friends and I manifested it on accident, like I swear to God, because we had seen posts about people breaking their leg in the bowl, and I literally, that like the day before, I had said like, can you imagine breaking your leg in the bowl? Like, oh my god, they'd have to like get you out of here, like that'd be so embarrassing, like blah blah blah. Hello, like like fate said that. Like even actually that day, like I should go back and find the screenshot, but that day my friend Karina had sent something to our skate chat like about somebody breaking their leg, and I was like, oh my god, like earlier in the morning. So yeah. But yeah, I had to call 911 to have them send me an ambulance, which I was like really scared about, because I've heard like horror stories about like how expensive ambulances are, but like there was no way I could try and get out by myself. And like I didn't, nobody asked this either actually, but I got some questions about it when I initially posted, but I didn't try to take my boot off, or well, for a second I did, and then when it didn't just like kind of come right off, I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it, like they can do that. The fortunate thing is though, that like I mentioned in my old video, or my last video, is that my Moonlight boots are a little bit bigger on me, so like they didn't even have to cut it off or anything, like they just slid it right off when they got there. Like I didn't even really feel it or anything. So yeah, then I got taken to the hospital. Honestly, well, at first I had to get taken out of the bowl, which was like probably my biggest concern, aside from like, what is my mom gonna think, and like, is she gonna beat my ass? Because obviously, as owner of the account Big Girl Skates, I am a big girl, so I was really worried about how they were gonna get my big girl booty out of this bowl, out of this big bowl too, is a thing. So it was pretty crazy. They had to like strap me down to like the flat boards or whatever, I don't know what those are called, and then they literally put a ladder into, oh my god, I wish I had videos. Like luckily I was there with my friends, but like they were both too shook to like do anything as far as like video or picture taking or anything like that. I'm just laughing because I'm like, they probably, like, I would, if that was me, oh my God, like I would have like lost my mind. Like that seems scary just to even like be watching, much less go through it, you know? Had to strap me down to that and then put a ladder, like a big ladder, into the bowl, and then they just like pulled me up. They also put like this like inflatable sort of boot thing on me to keep it like a little more stable and so it wouldn't move as much. So yeah, then I got taken to the hospital. I was there all day. They didn't do literally anything on me, and then I finally got transferred to where my actual insurance is with. I'm with Kaiser, so then I actually got transferred to a Kaiser facility, which was way better. Like Methodist Hospital, literally never want to go there ever again in my life. They were so horrible. Honestly, the people that worked there were like super fat shamey, but like it was just like very horrible vibes, like truly horrible. But like the second I got to my Kaiser, it's not even like my location too, it's just like the nearest one, but like the second I got there, everyone was so nice, so helpful, trying to do everything they could to like get me out of pain as much as possible. Yeah, it was just way different. My friend asked, when you fell, did you instantly know it was broken, or did you think it was a less severe injury? I immediately knew it was broken because when I fell, I knew my leg was completely under me. Like my leg was under me, my whole body slammed on top of it. Like I knew immediately. And when I was able to take it out from under me somehow. I don't really remember, like I don't know how that happened. Like I don't know. It's really gross when I even think about it. So like, ew. I just, my friends like sometimes will be like, oh, like imagine you got it on video, but I'm like, literally ew. Like that's disgusting. I hate even thinking about it. Like to see it, oh, like I see it in my head and I'm like, ugh. But yeah, so, and then when I was at Methodist Hospital, they really kept trying to tell me like the one, like multiple doctor, I think nurses and the doctor or whatever, or maybe it was just multiple nurses, let me not blame the doctor, but they would literally come in and be like, oh, it doesn't look like it's broken, like I think it's just a like a sprain. I literally broke 2 bones, 2, and one was like completely destroyed. Like, okay, I don't know, I just thought that was like, because of course I was like, there's literally no way, there's not something broken, like there's no way, my whole body weight fell on my leg, there's no way. So for them, right away when they like were saying stuff like that, I was like, okay. Like, so you're just acting like I'm just sitting here crying for no reason. That was just super frustrating and annoying for them to like immediately be like that, where it's like, why are you even talking? Why don't you just go get me my x-ray and give me some pain meds and leave me alone? Like, why are you like speculating about my health? And like, what the heck? Like, I don't know, just the way they said it too, it was really like acting as if I was like being dramatic or something. When I broke 2 bones. But right when I fell, like, it wasn't actually, like, I think my body really immediately went into shock because it was just completely numb. Like, I could kind of lift my foot up, like, so when, after I fell and after I somehow got my foot out, I still don't know how I got my foot up from under me, but I was kind of like leaning on my left hip. It was my left leg that broke because that's my like dominant foot when I'm skating. So I was like kind of leaning on my left hip and my leg was like to the side and I had this one just hanging out over here. I took the skate off. My friends like helped me take off my pads as much as possible. But yeah, actually, wait, there's a really funny story I forgot to put. But when I was down there, they tried to give me like a shot for the pain. And so he started to roll up my sleeve and I was wearing like a hoodie, a Halsey hoodie. And he was like trying to roll up my sleeve. And then he was like, oh, it's because I guess it had to be up here or something. It was only like going up to my elbow. And he was like, oh, okay, we're going to have to cut the sweater. And he literally had the scissors. I don't know where he pulled these scissors out of. But I was like, no, like not the sweater. Why? Like this is the stupidest shit I could be concerned about in that moment. But also I did pay $60 for that Halsey. It was like an exclusive like merch sweater. But I was like, no, not the sweater, not that. Like, I don't know. That was just like a funny thing that happened like during this chaos. when I'm still at Methodist, they take an x-ray. They put me in I believe it was called a soft cast. And then after they like put your foot in the right position or whatever, or put your leg in the right position, it like starts to harden a little more. They didn't even tell, literally I did not even know for sure that I had broken my leg until a nurse came in like hours after the fact and was like, oh, like did the doctor talk to you? And I was like, no. Like I've literally just been here. And he was like, oh yeah, you broke it. Like, oh. I had no idea. So yeah, that was, and I didn't even know I had broken both bones until I was in the ambulance, like being transferred to Kaiser. And it was like Kaiser's ambulance, Kaiser's EMTs, or I think that's what they're called. I was like, oh, does it say on there like what I broke? And he was like, oh yeah, tib fib. I was like, oh, there's two. Tight. I got to Kaiser. They took one look at my leg and said, that's all they did for you? And immediately we're taking that off and putting on a different, it was a soft cast as well, but it was like much, like way sturdier. It was, oh God, this is gonna be gross. I'm so sorry, guys. Like when you would pick up, like when I would move my leg, like I could feel that it wasn't right. Like, oh, it felt so weird. Like, ooh, makes me feel weird when just even thinking about it. But like, oh, it was such a like haunting feeling. It was so nasty. I tell you, I was crying, screaming, cussing, like, oh my God, it like, they had the two people, they needed two people to like hold my leg together to put on the cast. And then it like, oh man, I'm like shaking a little bit, but like to make it all come together and be right. And like, yeah, oh my God, it was, that was like probably one of the hardest things, those two soft casts. So then they had me take more x-rays because they said the ones at Methodist like couldn't be put in their system, I think, and also they like weren't that good. That was extremely hard too. That was really painful, especially like moving to the side. Ooh, gross. Like, because the bones are all just floating around in there. So then the very next day, I was able to get into surgery. You need surgery, you're gonna need for sure a steel rod, most likely a plate and some screws. And then they were assessing if the fracture was like spiraled down to my ankle bone, I think, or something. Because if it was, then we would need a whole other thing. Like it just makes it more complex and has more, I think, hardware inside, but I still ended up with like a lot. So I was really scared because I had to be put under, of course. I have never been put under in my life. I haven't had my wisdom teeth or anything like that taken out, I think is another time when you go under. So I was like really afraid of that because I know medicine's come a long way, but I was just like, watch me be the one. Like, watch me be the one. And I was really like, damn, like what if I really die? Like, I don't know, that was so, that part scared me the most probably, especially because like I couldn't even see my family or anything in the ER, of course, like nobody, you're not allowed any guests or anything like that. So that was my thinking, of course, that scared me. This is just like a weird fact that I just had no idea about, but you're not supposed to have like any jewelry in your body when you're having surgery. I think when I looked it up, it was like something about like if they have to like do the paddles on you, like you could like burn your wherever the jewelry is or something like that. But so I lost like 3-4 piercings. It was crazy. Like I had my septum. I don't know if did I even have it in that last video? I think I did. Like I lost my septum ring, not lost as in like physically lost the jewelry, like it closed up because it was like some pieces just take longer to heal. Like I don't know why, but yeah, I lost a bunch of piercings. which of course, like, that's not even, like, literally when they told me, I was like, you know what, well, that's fine, like, that's just gonna have to happen. I was the saddest about my septum, so I'll probably redo that one, but the other ones I was like, whatever. But it was just like such a weird, like, I didn't even know that was a thing, so maybe you guys are interested in that too if you didn't know that. I ended up putting a rod, a bunch of screws, a plate. I don't remember anything. That was also kind of what I was worried about. I was like, what if I would like wake up in the middle of it? What if I'm like, yeah, it was just a lot of what ifs essentially. And then after the fact, they had done like a nerve block, so I wasn't able to feel like my whole leg really, or even really my toes at all, and that was for my benefit, so I wouldn't feel like obviously the rod and the screws, like that's a lot of stress on your body. So once that wore off though, wow, they had like, I would not stop calling the nurses station. They had to like give me as much pain medicine as possible, but it was not enough. I mean, of course, like it was just so much pain, but once that settled down, that was like really good. All the nurses and everything were so sweet there. They were all super like attuned to when I would need, like they were just on top of it, like seriously. After that, the hardest part has just been like literally changing my whole life. Like even physical therapy in the hospital. Physical therapy in the hospital just looked like essentially being able to get like swing your feet over the bed. Like that was it, and that was like so hard. Being able to stand up with the walker. Like every step has just been so hard. Also, it's like really weird to have to like relearn my whole, like how to move my whole leg essentially. Like I'm just relearning everything, and I'm still not even at the point where I would have to relearn where I'm still not even at the point where I'm relearning to walk. This week is the 6-week mark, which is the amount of time that bones take to heal. So I'm assuming at this point everything's all healed up, but I am still going through physical therapy, trying to learn how to, or relearn how to move my like foot and leg and everything again. I have an appointment next week, and I assume that's when we'll start talking about how I'm going to start learning how to walk and stuff. So I have a walker and a wheelchair. I use the walker mostly to get around the house and stuff. The wheelchair I just use for appointments because I'm not leaving the house. Like it's such a pain to leave the house. My house is not really wheelchair accessible. I have 2 front steps, so it's just yeah. I plan to upload a video probably going through my physical therapy like details and before and after kind of stuff. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'm interested in it for myself, so I'm like maybe somebody will be interested in that. I don't know. But I'll probably upload that just to give you guys an idea of how extremely hard it has been. Luckily now the pain is, you know, that's honestly one of the things, like the pain was a lot, especially in the beginning, the first few weeks. Now it's pretty much gone. It's just like if I'm doing certain things in physical therapy, like holding certain poses and stuff. I have 2 big scars and then a few like little ones. But yeah, this has been a lot. Let me go through and answer some of the questions. Does it make you nervous to skate again? Yeah, it does. Actually, this is like one of the hardest things that I had to deal with initially, you know, once I had the surgery and all that, was the thought of, will I skate again? You know, previous to this, I was never afraid of falling. I was never afraid, I don't know, just I didn't have a fear really. I mean, of course, like I wasn't like out doing crazy stuff. Like I knew my limitations as a beginner. I knew my limitations as far as my abilities and skills set that I had already learned. But I wasn't afraid, like, and now that's almost all I am of skating. Like, I still have a love for it, but I am very, very afraid. You know, at this point, I can't even walk. So the thought of even, like, I would have to get, it would be a long way off, like, especially mentally, but even just physically, like, purely physically, it would be a long way off, because I would need to relearn how to walk, build up strength with my leg, and honestly, I don't even know if it would be possible. Like, I have a plate in my leg, like, where near my ankle. I don't, like, I hardly have a bone. Like, they said the smaller one, I don't remember which one's the smaller one, but they said that, like, I really, really destroyed that one. Like, they were like, whoa, like, almost impressed. Like, so yeah, much less mentally, like, the thought of falling, oh my God. Like, I can't even, I avoided skate videos for a long time. I still am, like, very, like, ugh, like, it's, yeah, like, it's very hard for me to watch skate videos, much less falling videos. It's almost like I can't watch skate videos because I'm afraid that I'll see somebody falling, or, like, I can see in my mind them falling, even if they're not falling in the video. So I definitely, like, can't even handle, like, videos of people falling. So yeah, if I can't even see it, I would imagine I'm very far off way from me being mentally and physically, of course, okay to skate again. Which, like, sucks. I mean, it does, like, I'm not gonna lie. But I need to prioritize my mental well-being, my physical well-being. So yeah. What was the first reaction when you broke your leg? So right when I, like, fell and I knew it was broken, I actually was, like, immediately shook. I literally remember being like, I fucked up. I was in the bowl with my friend. My other friend was, like, off to the side, like, chilling. I think just resting. When I fell, I, like, I remember looking up and I was like, I fucked up. Like, I fucked up. And then she, like, she was, like, at the top of the bowl. So she, like, came in and she was like, you know, what's wrong? Like, do you not feel, like, what's up? Because I was still laying down. And I was like, no, I broke it. I know I did. And she was immediately like, oh, you know, oh, shoot. So I remember I even called my mom, and, like, right away I called my mom. And that's all I just kept saying. I was just like, I fucked up. I fucked up. That's all I could say. I think, of course, like, it was a shock thing, but, yeah, that's all I kept, because I kept thinking, that she was gonna, like, I don't know, I just felt, like, dumb almost. Like, really just barely started, like, getting good and being able to just go forward. And, like, I felt on something, like, just literally just normal skating, and broke my leg. And also, like, was thinking of all the medical costs and, like, what would even be covered. You know, thankfully I have insurance, but I was still really scared. I don't know what would be covered, what wouldn't. And I just was scared of, like, my mom's reaction. Not that she's, like, some horrible, like, person or anything like that, but it was just, I don't know, like, I was just scared. Yeah, honestly, she was such a queen. Like, when she asked me, like, well, what happened? Like, what's going on? I told her, like, I fell skating, and she was like, oh, that's it? Like, oh, you're, like, you know, like, it's okay. Like, you got hurt, that's fine. And I told her, like, no, I think it's serious. Like, I think I broke my leg. And she was like, well, you could do that, like, walking down the stairs. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, her reaction was so good. It made me, like, way less, like, shook. Of course I was still shook, but, like, her not being, like, a complete rat, like, she could have easily been like, well, like, that's why you shouldn't have taken up skating, like, blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Break a bone, can you hear it, like, when you break a bone, can you, like, hear it snap? I didn't hear it snap. I think that would have been even worse if I heard it. That sounds horrible. So I don't know. I've broken my arm twice when I was a kid too. I don't remember hearing it snap. Yeah, a lot of my questions were like, do you think you'd skate again? So I already trust that. How long is it going to take to heal? Will you be back on your skates when you're cleared? So like I said, it takes like 6 weeks to fully heal. You could probably hear the airplane, sorry. Like I said, I don't know about that. I also don't know how long it's gonna take me to fully like relearn how to walk and like get all my strength back and everything. So I'm not sure. And you talk about what happened after while you were waiting for help. I was just chilling in the bowl when my friend was in there with me. Honestly, I didn't have to wait that long. Like they came really, really quick. I think there was maybe like somebody right near there or something because it was surprisingly quick. Is this the worst break you've had? Yes, absolutely. Somebody else, pain level, this is also like the most painful thing I've ever had to deal with. Like I consider myself to have like a fairly high pain tolerance, but this is like the most extreme, the most painful thing that has ever happened to me. My pain would get all the way up to like 9 or 10 of like out of 10 worst pain you've ever felt in your life. I am prescribed like 3 different pain meds, level of pain. What hurt the most too was especially like getting those soft casts on. Like that is something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, to be quite frank. Best thing your friends could do for you while you were healing. My friends did do the best things that they could do for me. My friends Heidi and Michaela, both like when I got home from the hospital, they came by and dropped off flowers and like a card. They actually got me the same get well card, which was so funny. It was like little cats and it said get well soon. So that was like super sweet, super nice. And they both like dropped stuff off for my birthday, which was like shortly after, which is also like been another part of this whole thing that like emotionally was like extremely hard for me. Also, I kind of want to talk about like the pain meds themselves, like made me very emotional. Like I would be crying every minute, like, or I'd get really irritated really quickly. That was like a lot to deal with. Like when my birthday came, my leg was broken. I was, you know, can't do anything anyway, I guess, but still it was just like so much horrible timing. Like yeah, that was really hard. I was like crying all day pretty much. Of course, like offered to get like if I needed any help with anything. One of my friends, she was able to like pick up store pickup orders for me because obviously I can't like move or drive. So yeah, that was really cool. Also, they've just been like super supportive, you know, offering to hang out on Zoom, offering just if I need to talk or vent or anything like that, asking me questions for the videos. Yeah. What's one thing you wish you knew beforehand? I don't know. I don't even really like, I don't really have an answer for that. Like there's not anything that I could have done to prevent it other than like literally just not skate. Like, I mean, of course, you know, I wish I did know beforehand, like somehow like, oh, you're gonna break your leg today if you go skate. Definitely wouldn't have done it. What was the scariest part about it? I think again, it was that like before I had surgery and was gonna be put under, like that anticipation and thinking of that and like really questioning like my morality was an extreme, huge, tough part. But even just the emotional aspects afterwards, like it's been really, really hard to just sit here, do nothing, and like also like I can't even do things for myself. And now it's a little bit better because I can, you know, kind of move a little more, have less pain. Like I couldn't even literally like shower or wash my hair. Like it was too painful to sit in the shower. It was too painful to even sit. Like honestly, this was so, like the timing in that aspect was really bad as far as like school, because I was having finals like at the same time that I'm like really tired from all the meds, or I literally could not even sit up to like do my homework. Like I would have to be doing my homework and reading and everything lying completely flat, like with my leg elevated, but like lying down, and on top of that being on meds that made me want to sleep like all day and all night. So that was actually also probably the toughest part. Can you feel the metal if you touch your leg? Not if I touch it, but sometimes when I move it, weirdly, like I can feel it. It's so weird, especially in the beginning when I first started physical therapy. Like when I would move it kind of sideways, like up and down was a little easier because of physical therapy, but then if I moved it sideways, like even if I just moved it a little bit to adjust, like I could like feel, it's like, it's so hard to describe. Like I could just feel like it was like my nerves touching the rod or something. I don't know, like that's what it felt like, but I'm sure that's not like the actual what was happening. I don't know. What's it like getting lifted out of the bowl? Honestly, horrifying. I thought I'd be a little bit more embarrassed, but I think it was kind of like, well, like here I am in the moment. Luckily though too, it was like really empty because my friends and I would always go in the morning because like there's nobody really there. It was still like, bruh, like yeah, like a whole little army taking me out of there. What did your leg feel like initially when you felt instant pain, or did the pain increase? It was definitely numb, and then as it went, the pain just like grew and grew and grew and grew, and then it just kind of, even with meds and stuff, it didn't really necessarily stop. It would just kind of ebb and flow. Now it doesn't really hurt too much, usually. Just like with physical therapy, like they're having me bend my knee and stuff and like hold it in place. The biggest issues have been like bending my knee. I wasn't even able to bend it like at all because my rod got inserted from the top. I'll put a picture in. It's really gross. Yeah, I'll put some before and after pictures of like how my scars look and stuff, how they're healing up. I think that's all I have for you today. If you guys have any questions, or if you have any ideas for videos you want to see, definitely let me know. I still want to keep making videos, skating and not. I'm going to be having some like commentary things, I think, but yeah, just let me know what you thought of this video. If you have any ideas for upcoming videos, yeah, like and subscribe if you would like to. If not, I hope you watched the whole thing and enjoyed is kind of a weird word, but had a pleasant experience. Please be safe if you're skating. That's the thing that's so hard. Like I can't help but like when people reach out to me, I'm like, please be careful, but it's like, what can you even do to prevent it? Like, I don't know. But yeah, be safe, wear your gear, even though that doesn't matter in my case. Wear your helmet, even though it didn't matter in my case. Yeah, thank you guys, bye.